I guess if I was thinking about buying a motorcycle, but I didn't really want to commit to, learning how to ride a motorcycle, this is almost as good. One of the best things about the Citroën 2CV is that they were cheap and everywhere, at least in Europe. So that meant if you had a really ridiculous idea you wanted to see happen with a 2CV, there were probably enough cars around that you could find some to actually make it happen. Like this. Take a regular 2CV and just for the hell of it, make it half its width, because why the hell not? So even though this car is basically a one-note joke, it's extremely well done. If you look at all the places where they would have split things in half and rejoined them together, there is no evidence of any kind of seam. Whoever did this made this car look like it came right out of one drunken day at the Citroën factory. Come look at the back here. So look how nicely this trunk lid has been done. Again, it's been split and refashioned together, and there are zero seams in this thing at all. It's so beautifully made. The interior is really nicely done. He's repositioned the fuel tank. Everything in here just looks great. It looks factory perfect, even though it's half the size. The bumper, there's no evidence of a seam in here. It's so nicely done. And check out these wheels. So now the easy thing to do would be just to include one rear wheel and call it a day, but whoever made this decided to do it the right way. They actually took the Citroën rear suspension and flipped it. So instead of these little horn guys pointing out, they're pointing in, and that relocates these wheels really close together, so the gap between the wheels you've got is really tiny. It's probably about that much. And the end result is something that still keeps all four wheels, but makes this thing nice and narrow. Like everything else in the car, it's just really well done. Let's see what it drives like. I do like a car where you can put both your hands up both windows simultaneously.
What is this? Is this like to close the door? Or?
Yeah, that's how you pull the door closed.
Oh.
Let's drive this little thing around. It's really just kind of a joke. 1CV, 2CV, it's just silly. But it is kind of fun at the same time. And I bet there's some kind of situation where like a 2CV is just too lavish, too wide, too much room. If that's where you are, then, this is a perfect solution for that. What do you think, Otto? What do you think of this?
It's weird because it's like a lemon that's been squeezed.
You're right. That's a pretty good way to put it. And the name Citroën, people joke, it's lemon, but here's the truth. So André Citroën, his great-grandfather, I think, was a fruit merchant in the Netherlands, and he was called Lemon Man. So then when he went to France, they translated Lemon Man into the French word for lemon, citron, and then you ended up with Citroën. And the connotation of lemons as lousy cars, I don't think really happened there, because I imagine if it would have, they probably wouldn't have chosen that name. But they did, and there it is. So yeah, this is kind of a perfect one, a squished lemon. Good analogy, Otto. Driving it is weird because, like, for example, to get it this narrow, they had to angle the steering column more towards the center, so it's completely in the way of the clutch pedal. Every time I go to hit the clutch pedal, I'm hitting the bottom of the steering column. And if you try to go into reverse, you kind of pin your fingers up against the base part of the dashboard because it was never really meant to be crunched down quite like that. I'm gonna weave around a little. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You can really get this guy. You can really make this thing wobble, which is fun. See, that's the fun part of a 2CV. You can't flip them, but you can make them do this.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of fun. Let's do some more of that stuff. This thing is just kind of stupid and just kind of fun, and driving it is more of the same. It's like a regular 2CV, but all the usual 2CV quirks are kind of magnified because it moves crazier. When you go back and forth, it wobbles even more. It's just silly. And silly is great. And even better is we've got more bizarre 2CV variations coming up, some really bonkers stuff I think you're gonna like. So, of course, stay tuned for more episodes of Jason and Otto Drives.
Smash the like button.
Sure. Hey, my hat. A precious hat. Now let's see my horrible hair. Hey, my hat. Where's my hat? I know how my hair is triggering to some of our viewers, so I'm trying to help you. This is for your benefit.